Death Valley stretches endlessly under a merciless sun where the ground burns at 120 degrees and there's no water for 100 miles in any direction. Most animals would be dead within hours, but there's one tiny rodent hopping around like it owns the place. Meet the kangaroo rat. This little guy has cracked the code that stumps every other desert animal, while coyotes pant desperately and birds fly hundreds of miles searching for water. The kangaroo rat never takes a single sip, not once in its entire life. You might think that's impossible. Water is life, right? Every biology textbook tells us animals need water to survive, but the kangaroo rat rewrote those rules millions of years ago. So how does any creature survive without the most basic necessity of life? The answer will change how you think about adaptation and survival. These desert masters have evolved the most incredible water-making system nature has ever created. The kangaroo rat calls some of Earth's most brutal places home. We're talking about the Mojave Desert, Death Valley, and the Sonoran Desert, places where the sun turns sand into a frying pan and nighttime temperatures can drop 40 degrees in hours. These deserts go months without seeing a single drop of rain. There are no rivers, no lakes, no morning dew. The air is so dry it sucks moisture from anything it touches. Most desert animals cluster around the few water sources that exist, traveling miles just for a drink, but not the kangaroo rat. While other animals are dying of thirst just yards away, these little survivors are thriving in the driest spots of the driest deserts on the continent. What's fascinating is how they've turned the desert's harsh conditions into advantages. They spend their days deep underground in burrow systems they've engineered like tiny air conditioning units. These tunnels stay cool and trap whatever humidity exists in the desert air. When the sun goes down and temperatures drop, that's when kangaroo rats come alive. They emerge to forage in the cooler night air when humidity levels are at their highest, though highest in the desert still means almost nothing. So if they're living in Earth's driest places with no water to drink, how do they get any water at all? This is where their bodies perform a metabolic miracle. Kangaroo rats have turned themselves into living water factories. They don't need to find water because they make it themselves right inside their cells. The secret lies in how they process food. When you or I eat, our bodies break down food for energy and produce some water as a byproduct. But kangaroo rats have perfected this process into an art form. Every dry seed they eat becomes raw material for water production. Through cellular respiration, their bodies break down the carbohydrates in seeds using oxygen. It's basic chemistry: glucose, oxygen, and boom, carbon dioxide, energy, and most importantly for our desert survivor, water. But here's what makes kangaroo rats special. Their digestive system extracts every possible molecule of water from this process. Seeds that contain only 5% moisture somehow provide all the water these animals need to survive. Think about that for a moment. You could hand a kangaroo rat a handful of seeds, so dry they crumble to dust, and those seeds would keep that animal hydrated for weeks. Their bodies are so efficient at metabolic water production that they generate more water from dry food than most animals get from actually drinking. The process happens in their mitochondria, the powerhouses of their cells. As they burn calories for energy, water molecules form as a natural byproduct. Most animals treat this metabolic water as a nice bonus. For kangaroo rats, it's their entire water supply. Their digestive tract has evolved to maximize this water extraction. Food moves through their system slowly, giving their bodies time to squeeze out every drop of moisture and convert every carbohydrate into precious water molecules. What's even more incredible is how they choose their food. Kangaroo rats are picky eaters, but not in the way you'd expect. They specifically seek out the driest, most concentrated seeds because these provide the best raw materials for water production. Seeds from desert plants like mesquite and creosote become their primary water sources. These plants have evolved their own water conservation strategies, packing their seeds with concentrated nutrients that kangaroo rats can efficiently convert into both energy and water. The entire system works because kangaroo rats have rewired the basic equation of survival. Instead of finding water and food separately, they've created a single solution that provides both from the same source. But making water is only half the battle. What good is creating water if you just lose it all again? That's where their kidneys come in, and they're nothing short of biological marvels that make human kidneys look wasteful. By comparison, a kangaroo rat's kidneys are 5 times more efficient at conserving water than yours. While your kidneys filter blood and produce urine that's mostly water, kangaroo rat kidneys work like the ultimate recycling system. The key lies in their kidney structure. They have incredibly long loops of Henle, the parts of the kidney responsible for concentrating urine. These loops are so extended and twisted that they can extract almost every water molecule before it leaves the body. When you produce urine, it's about 95% water. That's your body essentially throwing away water with the waste. But kangaroo rat urine is thick like syrup, containing only the absolute minimum water needed to flush out toxins. To put this in perspective, if you tried to survive on the same amount of water a kangaroo rat uses, you'd be severely dehydrated within hours. These animals can concentrate their urine to levels that would be toxic to most mammals. Their kidneys also work differently at the cellular level. The cells lining their kidney tubules have specialized pumps that actively grab water molecules and send them back into the bloodstream. It's like having microscopic security guards making sure no water escapes. But the efficiency doesn't stop there. Kangaroo rats also produce incredibly dry feces. While most animals lose significant water through their digestive waste, kangaroo rats extract moisture so thoroughly that their droppings crumble to powder. The entire urinary system works in harmony with their water production. As their cells create metabolic water from seeds, their kidneys ensure that virtually none of that precious water gets wasted. Every drop gets recycled, reused, and preserved. This kidney efficiency is so extreme that kangaroo rats can actually survive on seawater if necessary. The salt content that would kill most desert animals poses no problem because their kidneys can concentrate and eliminate salt while retaining water. But how do these desert conditions actually help them? It turns out, kangaroo rats have turned the harsh environment into their ally through perfectly timed behaviors and lifestyle choices that would impress any survival expert. Their daily routine is precisely timed to the desert's rhythm. During the scorching daylight hours when temperatures soar above 100 degrees, they retreat deep into their burrow systems and seal the entrances. This isn't just hiding from heat. They're creating a controlled microenvironment underground. Temperatures stay relatively stable, but more importantly, the sealed burrows trap whatever humidity the kangaroo rats exhale. Over time, this creates a slightly more humid pocket of air that helps reduce water loss through breathing. The sun finally surrenders to the horizon, and the desert releases its held breath. Most creatures remain hidden, still wary of the lingering heat. But deep underground, something stirs. A kangaroo rat presses its tiny nose against the sealed entrance of its burrow, sensing the shift. The temperature has dropped just enough. The air carries the faintest whisper of moisture. This is the moment it's been waiting for all day. The kangaroo rat breaks through its carefully sealed doorway and emerges into a world transformed by twilight. While other desert animals are still recovering from the day's brutal heat, our tiny survivor has timed this emergence with precision that would impress a Swiss watchmaker. Even though high humidity in the desert might only mean 30%, every molecule counts in their world. This isn't just any foraging trip. It's a calculated mission where timing means the difference between thriving and merely surviving. Their foraging strategy is incredibly sophisticated. Kangaroo rats don't just grab any available seeds. They're selective about moisture content, choosing seeds that have been thoroughly dried by the desert sun. Counterintuitively, the driest seeds provide the best raw material for their internal water production. They also cache seeds in their burrows, but not randomly. Seeds get stored in the deepest, most humid parts of their tunnel systems. This allows the seeds to absorb whatever moisture exists in the air, making them slightly more efficient for water production when eaten. Temperature regulation happens without sweating or panting, both of which would waste precious water. Instead, they've mastered the art of staying cool without losing a drop. They press their bodies against cool tunnel walls, adjust their activity levels, and position themselves to maximize heat loss without losing moisture. Their fur provides insulation that works both ways, keeping them warm during cold desert nights and protecting them from heat during their brief surface activities. The light-colored fur reflects sunlight, while the dense undercoat traps air for temperature control. Even their hopping locomotion serves water conservation. Those powerful hind legs allow them to cover ground quickly and efficiently, minimizing time spent exposed to the dehydrating desert air. The kangaroo rat has achieved something that seems impossible, thriving in Earth's most water-scarce environments without ever drinking a drop. Through metabolic water production, ultra-efficient kidneys, and perfectly timed behaviors, these desert masters have rewritten the rules of survival. Every aspect of their biology works together like a precision-engineered system. Their cells manufacture water from dry seeds. Their kidneys recycle every molecule, and their lifestyle maximizes efficiency while minimizing loss. What's truly remarkable is how this tiny rodent solved a problem that stumps our best engineers. We spend billions developing technology to extract water from air or purify seawater, while kangaroo rats simply manufacture what they need from a handful of seeds. These adaptations took millions of years to perfect, but they show us what's possible when life refuses to give up. The kangaroo rat didn't just adapt to the desert's impossible conditions, it turned them into advantages and conquered the unconquerable. Next time you reach for a glass of water, remember the kangaroo rat hopping through Death Valley, perfectly hydrated on nothing but sunflower seeds, an evolutionary genius. If you love discovering how animals master impossible environments, subscribe for more incredible survival stories from the natural world.